My Social Security checks completely stopped. I went to the pharmacy to pick up my heart medication, swiped my debit card, and the screen just flashed zero. Everything was gone. Sounds like a classic scam, right? Well, brace yourself. That was the exact terrified message I got last Tuesday from a 72-year-old viewer named Margaret. She was completely broke overnight, but here is the most terrifying part of her story. She wasn't hacked, and no shadowy overseas scammer touched her money. The money was drained from her account 100% legally, and if you're over 60 or receiving Social Security right now, you are likely sitting on the exact same ticking time bomb. We are going to fix this today, so do not skip a single second. Today, we're talking about a fatal financial mistake that millions of seniors make every single year. You probably did it thinking you were being smart. You just wanted to make your life easier. But you actually left the vault door to your life savings wide open. By linking your Social Security to this one specific type of account, you're basically inviting debt collectors, lawyers, and the IRS to just walk right in. They can take everything. I'm going to reveal exactly what this trap is in just a second. As we get older, we all just want peace of mind, right? We start stressing over the what ifs. What if I fall? What if my memory starts slipping? Who's going to write the check when the electric company threatens to shut off the power? Out of pure love and trust, millions of aging parents drive down to their local bank branch with their son or daughter. You sit across from a friendly teller, sign one little piece of paper, boom, you think you've just solved all your future problems forever. Wrong. What you actually just did was open a joint bank account, and you set up your Social Security checks to drop right into it. This is the fatal mistake. Never, ever link your retirement lifeline to a joint account with your adult kids. I know exactly what you're yelling at your screen right now. But I trust my son. My daughter is an angel. They'd never steal from me. I believe you. I really do. But guess what? This has absolutely zero to do with your kid robbing you. This has everything to do with the brutal legal reality of what a joint bank account actually is. When you add your adult child's name to your account, the bank doesn't see it as mom's money. To them, the second that pen leaves the paper, the game completely changes. In the eyes of the law, your child instantly becomes the 100% legal co-owner of every single penny in that account. Your hard-earned Social Security money, it is legally their money now. And this is exactly where the absolute nightmare begins for your finances. Because when you share ownership of an account, you also swallow 100% of that person's financial liabilities. You are literally tying your retirement lifeline to your kids' bad luck, their mistakes, and their legal battles. Let's look at how fast this blows up in the real world. Imagine your adult son gets into a terrible car wreck and the damages blow right past his auto insurance limits. He gets sued. Or maybe your daughter's small business tanks and she defaults on a massive loan. Or worse, they are going through a bitter, nasty divorce right now. When a debt collector, an angry ex-spouse, or the IRS wins a judgment against your kid, what do? They run your child's Social Security number through the banking system to hunt for assets. Guess what pops up on their radar with a giant red bullseye? Your joint bank account. And the debt collector does not care that you are a 70-year-old retiree. They don't care that every single dime came directly from your Social Security checks. All they see is a name. Armed with a court order, they will wipe that account totally clean. Now, if you're legally savvy, you might be screaming, wait a minute, under federal law, debt collectors cannot legally garnish my Social Security. And hey, technically you are right, federal law protects those benefits. But here's the devastating reality of how banks actually operate today. Banks use cold, automated systems. When a bank gets a legal garnishment order, they don't manually investigate where the cash came from. Their immediate knee-jerk protocol is to hit a button and freeze everything. Period. That federal protection completely vanishes. The second funds are mixed together. Even if you can eventually prove the money was yours, do you know how long that takes? You have to hire an expensive lawyer. You have to file court paperwork. You have to wait for hearings. This whole mess can drag on for weeks or even painful months. During those months, your account is completely locked. Your funds are frozen solid. How are you going to pay your mortgage? How will you buy your groceries or your heart medication? You might win the war eventually, but the short-term financial chaos will absolutely wreck your life. And creditors aren't the only trap waiting to spring. Let's talk about something even more terrifying. Medicaid and the nursing home nightmare. If your health declines and you ever need to apply for Medicaid to cover long-term care, the government is going to scrutinize your entire life with a microscope. They use something called the 5-year look-back period. Because a joint account gives your child full access to the cash, what happens if your daughter takes out $5,000 to fix her roof or pay college tuition? You might have agreed to it, but the government definitely won't. Medicaid will view that withdrawal as an uncompensated transfer, basically an illegal gift of your assets. Because your money was given away, Medicaid is going to heavily penalize you when you need help the absolute most. They can legally disqualify you from nursing home coverage for years. You could be left with literally zero way to pay for the medical care you desperately need, all because you shared an account. But wait, it gets worse. Finally, there is the ultimate estate planning disaster. Let's talk about what happens to your money when you pass away. Let's say you have 3 kids. You want them to split your assets equally when you die. But for pure convenience, you only put your oldest daughter on your checking account so she could help pay bills. Your last will and testament means absolutely nothing in this scenario. Under the law of right of survivorship, every single dollar in that account automatically and immediately becomes the sole legal property of the daughter whose name is on it. She owns it all, free and clear. She is under zero legal obligation to share a single dime. I have personally seen families totally torn apart over this exact thing. Siblings end up in probate court nightmares, completely destroying their relationships and spending tens of thousands of dollars in brutal legal fees, all fighting over one account. So how do you actually fix this mess before it happens? So how do you actually get the help you need as you age without risking your Social Security and your entire life savings? You need to take immediate action and use the correct legal tools today. Let's go over the 3 ways to fix this right now. If your main goal is simply making sure your kids get your money easily and avoid probate court after you pass away, you do not need a joint bank account. Go to your bank tomorrow morning. Ask the teller to let you fill out a POD form. That stands for Payable on Death. By adding a POD beneficiary to your account, you remain the 100% sole owner of your money while you are alive. Your kids' creditors absolutely cannot touch it. But what if you need your child to help pay bills right now? If you want them managing your money while you are still alive, you need a durable financial power of attorney. This is a legal document that lets your kids sign checks on your behalf as your agent. But crucially, they do not legally own a single dime of that money because their name isn't on the account as an owner. Their creditors can never garnish your Social Security to pay off their bad debts. Your retirement money remains completely shielded and totally under your control. There is one more tool you need to know about. If you specifically need someone to manage your Social Security benefits because you're having trouble keeping track, contact the Social Security Administration directly. Ask them to officially appoint a representative payee for you. Hook. It's the safest, government-approved way to handle funds without mixing your assets. Listen to me very carefully. If you currently have your Social Security deposited into a bank account with anyone else's name on it, you are literally playing Russian roulette with your entire retirement. Don't wait for a lawsuit. Don't end up like Margaret staring at an ATM screen reading 0. Call your bank tomorrow morning, remove those joint owners. If you found this warning valuable, please smash the like button right now so the YouTube algorithm shares this with other seniors who desperately need to hear it. Hook. And you definitely want to hit subscribe for what's coming next. Make sure you subscribe and turn on the notification bell because in my next video, I'll be exposing a massive new tax trap The IRS is quietly setting up for anyone turning 65 this year. Stay safe, protect your money, and I'll see you in the next one.